Hello and happiest of days to each of you folks. I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing day today. Today we're taking a look at these short stories from last year. It's called Nanzik Eg Ok. It is by Amber Stewart from 2024. It's 16 pages long. It's in this collection of Lone Wolf Anthology Volume 1. Hopes and Darkness. I'll link it to you. This is the and that sort of a thing too. This was typically a game book universe written in the mid to late 80s by Joe Dever, and that sort of a thing too, called the Lone Wolf series. It's in there too. Lots. I actually played it contemporaneously when I was because I was born in '76, and so I was 8 or 9. Actually, there's a bunch of deer outside frolicking. So if you see me look at deer at night, you guys have the reason why. Anyway, so they had a number of those folks that are happening in game books and that sort of thing too, with a storied thing happening too. Read it when I was a kid contemporaneously, up until I stopped reading game books. Game books here are not the same as a normal book. Basically, it's like a choose your own adventure where you choose what's happening, each of the different things. But then you're actually fighting monsters, rolling dice, keeping stats, have different skills, keep inventories, buy things with crowns, that sort of thing too. Now, this world, Magnum, is a unique world. It doesn't have like elves, works, everything in it's unique except for doors. Love it lots. Great stuff. Heavily done stuff. Love it lots. So I've gone back and read for this channel the first 20 books in the series that have Lone Wolf proper by Joe Dever for this channel for you folks. All those are free online on our website called projectaeon.com in case you're interested in following up too. I've also gone back and read everything by other authors that's set in this world too of the game book series, from the Ian Page's 4-book Greystar the Wizard set in Southern Magnum 4-book series to things like the recent stuff like the Autumn Snow series by Martin Charbonneau, or things like Chronicles of Magnum, which was published a couple months ago, a 3-volume collection by different authors, or the Huntress trilogy by Jonathan Stark from last year. So I've published all those things as soon as they again published Level Lots. So basically what's happening here, so I just finished Chronicles of Magnum trilogy and was in a mood to see what else was in the thing, and I picked this up. Now this is short fiction and that sort of thing. Now there are some novelizations of the game books. I read a few of them when I was a kid. I didn't think they were the best in the world because sometimes they weren't written by Joe Dever, right? And that sort of thing too. They added some characters that weren't in the original thing proper. They make some changes and that sort of thing too. Right? I don't know how the rest of the fans feel about it, but I just didn't feel that stuff was incredibly strong. So I haven't gone back and read it. So this is the first short fiction collection by ever. And so I figured I'd pick up the first 2 volumes for you folks and knock it out. Now this one is in the first volume for you folks. Again, it's Nanzik Eg Ok. It's by the person I mentioned before. I can't remember. I already showed it. Anyway, idiot. So I think it's a fun. Basically, this is an unusual case because this person is a bad guy, not a good guy, or somebody just trying to survive in the world, right? And that sort of a thing too. It's a nasty creature. It's existing in the Darklands area, and that sort of a thing too. And then it's happening right around book 12 happens when some of the Dark Lords start to die off, and Gak dies too. He's the head of it too. And then he's going to head on out, find out more information. This person kills and animates a Gaiac, and that sort of thing too. So we can tell these things are definitely some things. This person, it's probably setting up the Death Lord of Ixia, because they'll go to Ixia. This is a book after Masters of Darkness, a few books later, and that sort of thing, after the second Kai order was set up for you folks. And so it's great stuff, lots. Basically what's happening in the first book is that you are a younger Gon, a young Kai initiate, about a few years in, and you are not exactly the best person in the world behaved, so you're out for discipline, gathering wood for a giant feast, firewood called Femlorn, and then wire out. Unfortunately, out of nowhere, the big bads of the Dark Lords attack and surprise and kill all the Kai that are gathered for the feast, and now you're the last one left. You're the last Kai. So you gotta go tell the king in the first book while they're being sieged. Anyway, in the 5th book, you find the Book of the Magnum, and that sort of thing too, and then you'll be able to move from the regular Kai orders that you were taught into the next disciplines, and then once you finish that in the Masters of Darkness and kill Nag, and then the next thing is where this is set at. in that era, and that sort of thing too. So basically what's happening here is that this is after the New Order has been set up. And starting about 21, your character, the new order character, rather than we'll take up the mantle until the end of the series for you folks. But anyway, so basically, again, what's happening here is I don't want to give you too much information, but again, our character's a bad guy. It's set in the Dark Lords while Monroe is doing some nasty stuff, and then he'll end up in Nixian. So you can definitely see this as a setup for the Death Lord of Exia, if you will, by the bad guys to find out some more information about what's happening and that sort of thing too. But there you go. So I think it's okay. I don't particularly like how it feels sometimes it's not like it's not long enough. Right, it's a very fast pace. It's very fast. I think it's 6-15 pages long. I read it on the way to and from the dentist's office, and then while I was in the waiting for the dentist locally. Didn't take me that long to read, but it's divided into sections, kind of like a diary, which really wouldn't feel appropriate for this sort of a beast to write up. And then it's weird in that a lot of stuff happens in a very, very short period of time, like lots of time passes, and that sort of thing too. But some of the descriptions in here are pretty good, and that sort of a thing too. Something between a 6 and a 7 for you folks. Let's go to 6.5. It's our opportunity, and that sort of a thing too. I wouldn't say the ending is particularly amazing or strong or surprising, or that sort of thing too. So that's also, I prefer to have a great ending, right? It surprised me. It really kept me guessing. This is none of those things. All right, but there you are. But your opinion may totally vary, right? Remember, I'm not a trained, literature critic. I didn't study English in college, right? And that sort of a thing too, right? I'm just a fan like you are, right? So that means I'm not coming to you from a place of expertise. And that means your opinion really is as valid as mine. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Happy to engage with it. Just try to keep it spoiler-free like I did, because this is the last year and I don't want to ruin this, even though it's been a few months ago, right? But I don't ruin it for folks. So please try to keep it spoiler-free for all this, folks. For you folks, and there you are. On Wednesday, I do older video game reviews, and that sort of thing too, so you can check this out too. And then on Saturday, I do reviews of older serials that I call Serial Saturday. Movie serials and TV serials like Doctor Who, Dick Tracy, that sort of stuff too. I see you check this out. And then on Monday, I do tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons or role playing or Battletech like War Game, and that sort of thing too. Then the other 3 days a week, I actually do reviews for things like this, like Budget Diver and the Kai series, and that sort of a thing too, as well as older things in fantasy, science fiction, and horror genres that we covered too. This isn't that old. It's like a couple months ago, but you get it. It's an independent publisher, so it's probably not well known for folks. So let's give it some space on the map. Alright, so there you are. And then if those 7 older things sound like your cup of tea, then great. Welcome to the channel. Have a seat, and while you're here, please do all the YouTube stuff, like hit the subscribe button, the like button, the bell icon, to notify us videos, and share and watch and all that stuff too. But please share and watch. Those are the key ways to grow the channel for you folks. And share. Alright, so there you go. As you can tell from those 7 older things, right? It's the passion of this channel, right? It's even where its name comes from. The worst thing about new books. It's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, says that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old stuff. This is definitely smaller. Well, not in this case, but you get the idea. It's heavily influenced by older stuff too. Great stuff too. Alright, so there you are. And if you made it all the way to the end, I just want to thank you so very, very much for just taking some time out of your day and investing it, right? And watching my videos, because we all have so many things, right, that are happening in our lives. And we're pulled in so many different directions too, right? So in fact, you spent this time with me. That's incredibly humbling. And I appreciate that so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.